Hey, what's up, my friends? So, welcome back to this week's market analysis. So, just to share with you a little bit of my own personal life. So, for this week's video, you see that you don't see my face on the webcam because reason being is right now I'm back for my annual in-camp training. For those of you who are Singaporeans, you probably know what that means. But for those of you who are not Singaporeans, right? Basically, the annual in-camp training means that as a son of Singapore, I have to go back to the army once a year to serve my nation. So what I usually go back and I do is that I go into the jungle, training for training in the army basically. So every year I go back for about 2-3 weeks, train in the jungle, train for shooting and stuff, etc. Stuff that you do in the army. So in this 2-3 weeks, I wouldn't really have much access to my computer. So I'm only back on the weekends. So weekends I try to do up my videos, but on the weekdays you don't see me posting on my blog and stuff like that because I'm basically in camp. I'm in camp doing my training. So I don't have access, or I don't have the the privilege to blog as and when I want to. But I still do my best to reply to my emails. I do my best to reply on comments or anything on Facebook, on social media. So but that aside, right, it's just to let you know that right now I'm pretty busy in a way. So weekends is where I do my videos. So if I'm not so active, I'm not so responsive, please bear with me for the next couple of weeks, at least till the end of August. By September, I think things should be running back to normal. So this period of time, I'll be busier than usual. So this is something to share with you. So right now, this week, let's analyze the majors. So basically the majors are the currency markets, which are the 6 majors. Is the euro dollar, the pound dollar, Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, dollar yen, and the dollar Canadian. So currently right now we are in August period. It's usually a summer holidays for those in the other side of the world. And when that happens, it's usually a sign that you can expect volatility to kind of dry up in the forex market. And usually you see price would actually whip back and forth within a range. So right now, clearly you can see it in the markets right now. Look at the euro dollar, the daily chart. You see the last few weeks of price action is just basically rangy whipsaw price action. All right, I don't really expect a very big sustained move as of yet, and not at least till the end of August. All right, so basically this is the kind of move that typically occurs during the month of August. So if you look at the pound dollar again, you see a similar scenario, just a rangy price action. So for position traders like me, I don't like such markets condition because I most probably wouldn't have any valid trading setup to take. But for day traders, that could be another story, right? In this market condition, they could still, trade in these conditions. But for me, a position trader, these are the kind of market positions, the market conditions that I wouldn't really look to trade. So Aussie dollar, again, you see a very similar outlook. It's just very choppy without price going in any direction. So again, I just basically you can see very similar occurrence. New Zealand dollar is the same. Dollar Canadian, you see the last few weeks, it's very choppy. Look at the dollar yen, the daily charts. Again, pretty much very choppy period. So for the majors, I don't have any trading setups for you. But for me personally, I had taken up trades prior into coming into the month of August. So for those trades, I just leave it and do what it needs to do. I have my stop loss in place and I'll just let it run. So now let's talk about other markets whereby there could be a potential trading opportunities. So for me right now, I'm actually looking at crude oil. I want to share with you is crude oil. So crude oil, you look at the weekly chart, you see, not sure if I covered this recently, but we had this move, this strong retracement, right? Many thought that it could be the reversal that was coming. So when price consolidated over here, this was, I would say, the deciding factor. The deciding factor whether the bulls will regain control if it breaks higher, or whether the bears will regain control if it breaks lower. So in this case, the bears regain control, and over the last 8 weeks or so, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks, we had a slight lower, right? A massive slight lower. So looking at the daily chart, you can see it's more apparent. Basically, this is the move that we were talking about, the strong retracement. Then we had this consolidation over here when price broke out of the support level, right? This was where a sign which is telling you that the bears are regaining footing. So for me, I went short when price formed this bearish flag pattern. So right now, I'm currently sitting about, I think it's about 2.5 R in profits. But for those of you who are not in this trade, I think something to bear in mind is right now we are coming into multi-year lows. But that aside, right, I don't really, exit my position just because it's coming into multi-year lows. Because price could simply, break it and trade lower. If it doesn't, if it just retrace higher, I'll just exit with my trailing stops. So that aside, multi-year lows, multi-year highs, I'm aware of it, but I will not exit my trade totally just because of these factors. So for those of you who are not in this trade, I believe the 4-hour chart provides decent trading opportunities. You look at the 4-hour chart, the 20 and 50 period moving average is currently acting as dynamic resistance. The blue line over here is my 50 EMA. The red line over here is my 20 EMA. So if price, does retrace back towards this zone over here, it's a shorting opportunity, right? For more aggressive traders, they will just short the moment price enters the zone. For more, I would say conservative one, they will look for a candlestick confirmation. For example, like this one over here that occurred, this candlestick, a pin bar, like this one over here. So yeah, so there are a few ways you can go about it, whether you want to wait for a confirmation or whether you just want to trade it when price enters the zone. So there's no right or wrong about it, but they definitely have their pros and cons that comes with it. So, as a trader, right, there are definitely pros and cons, whether you wait for confirmation or whether you don't wait for confirmation. So let me share with you a little bit about the pros and cons. So the pros for not waiting for confirmation is this, you will definitely have a good chance of entering the trade, because the moment the area is hit, you will be in the trade. But if you were to wait for confirmation, right, sometimes the candlestick do not give you the formation you want, you may miss the move. So this is something to bear in mind. The second thing is that without waiting for confirmation, some traders would think it's more risky, right? Emotionally, it's harder to trade because you are trading against the current momentum. Because when price is retracing against you, you're actually trading against the current momentum. You're not trading against the trend, but you're trading against the current momentum. Right now, what the momentum of the move is. So you're trading against the current momentum. So basically, you see a green candles against you, and that is where you enter your trade. So emotionally, it is not, I would say, it's not easy for newer traders to execute. So that is something to bear in mind as well. And for traders who wait for candlestick pattern, then yep, I think it's easier to execute emotionally because price has clearly showed you that, it has rejected higher prices. So yeah, so this is something to bear in mind, whether you want to wait for confirmation or whether you don't want to wait for confirmation. So yep, this is a little bit of extra lesson for you in this week's market analysis as well. So yep, that's all I have for this week's market analysis. If you have any comments, feel free to leave it below. With that, I wish you all good luck and good trading. I'll talk to you soon.